And that's a term that's been circulated in certain quarters over the past 20 or 30 years. And it's a type of what I'd call spiritual decluttering. There has been the decluttering movement, which means getting rid of things. And at this point in my life, the next move that my wife and I make will be to a smaller home. We have a very generous home right now, much more than we can really need. Although when the grandchildren are here and whatnot, it fills up quickly. But I was doing some work, moving some things around the other day into a little barn that's in the back of our plot. And I looked in the barn and said, oh my gosh, look at how much we're going to have to get rid of. Look how much we're going to have to get rid of if we move into a condo or a smaller home. And downward mobility is the sense of saying we need, as Gandhi and Mother Ann Seton would say, to live simply so others can simply live, where there's a connection between our wealth and other people's poverty. There's a connection between our use of resources and fossil fuels and consumerist society and global climate change. And so downward mobility is a spiritual practice. I think that for Francis, he used the term Lady Poverty, as did Claire. And I think that by that they meant the freedom you get when you're not controlled by what you own, the freedom you get when you're not possessed by your possessions. For folks that have homes, for folks that have jobs, for folks that have children and grandchildren and need to have them in safe and healthy places, that doesn't mean forsaking all of those unless it's your calling to do so, but it means being aware that others' poverty is related to your wealth or the wealth of our nation, that others' lack of power is related to the privilege we have, and trying to let go of all the cumber, to quote the Quaker term, the cumber that sort of weighs us down. And it's a sense of asking constantly the question, what's important? What's important? And again, trying to recognize that a lot of our wealth we didn't earn. A lot of our wealth came because our parents were able to give us a loan for the first house. A lot of our wealth came because we were able to go to college. And we don't want to be guilty about that, but we need to recognize that downward mobility is related also to upward, the rising up of those who don't have. I think Mary's Magnificat is a wonderful hymn to not necessarily the disparaging of the powerful, but saying they have to let go. The powerful have to let go. We have to have less power in order for the others to have more power. We can't control the process of other people's liberation. And I think Francis struggled with this because obviously he became a celebrity monk in his time. He became a celebrity spiritual guide, but yet he also at different times tried not to be the organizational leader. You know, he didn't want to lord it over the people in the order. He was not going to back down on his spiritual commitments, but I think he also felt that didn't require him to be in control. And that's, of course, a risky thing to let go of control. It's a risky thing to let others lead the way and you be their companion and ally. But I think it's necessary in our time.